down all the way to a lean 167.
Did you see those abs?
Yeah.
That's hard work.
Yeah.
That's a chisel body.
All right, so you've had 3 professional fights up to this point, all of them in Canada. Can you explain any of the differences between the boxers in Canada and what you expect here locally tomorrow night?
Well, I don't really have any expectations, but to win. Canada, this is my actual U.S. debut, so I'm just looking forward to the W.
Now, you've only had 3 professional fights since your debut in 2013. What explains the long layoff?
Well, just weight, timing, everything was timing for me.
And then what would you say, what have you done in terms of your training to get ready for this fight, and what can we expect tomorrow night?
Well, I've had great sparring, I've great training, everything is going well. That's what you can expect from me, a great outcome.
Fighting today against a guy that is a crowd pleaser. I think people expect a lot out of this opponent, which would be Jasper McCargo.
Yes, Jasper has a lot of potential. He was a national champion. He was on the Team USA boxing. There's a lot of ways that he could go in boxing, and people are hoping a lot from him. McCargo also has a flair for the dramatic, so he likes to show the crowd a good show.
Almost 10 pounds lighter. Zachary Bunce than Jasper McCargo.
Yeah, and I think they expected to come in, as Luke alluded to, at 173. So I think they were surprised coming in as low at 167. We'll see if that has an impact.
Jasper has a really good right hand and a right uppercut and a good jab. So let's see if those 3 things are effective early.
Jasper in a white with black trim. All black, Zachary Bunce. Reminds me when Tyson went in the Hilton for his first championship fight, just like this. No socks.
Nope.
Black pants, all alone coming into the ring. So a big difference between both of these guys, but just the appearance.
He's trying to channel Tyson. I was thinking the same thing as he was making his way in.
He's the one that takes the lead and at least trying to with a range-finding jabs. Good movement. It seems like Bunce came to show some boxing skills.
Yeah, this is the lowest he's ever been in his career, and that means he worked really hard to get into shape.
Oh no, they can't do that. Can't do that. Gentlemen, he was stuck behind the ropes. It's a good thing that he didn't throw any punches, although it would have been his fault.
I kind of like seeing that aggression, though, because the fighter is looking to land some good shots, even though that was illegal.
But can you imagine how desperate you feel behind the ropes, not being able to get
not being able to protect yourself.
Good right hand, at least a good attempt by Bunce. And it just appears that he's fast for this division. Longer reach.
Yeah, that
by McCargo.
I think that's the one key advantage that he does have.
Speed-wise, it just appears that Bunce is faster. And that might be what might get him the possibility of a win.
And McCargo's a famous slow starter. We've seen it in his last fight and a few other fights. He starts very slow, so let's see if he can pick it up later.
And Bunce doesn't appear to have any rhythm. He went in, he goes in fast for a few moments, drops back and lays back for another. So that might also throw Jasper off, but at least not hurting him.
Yeah, both these guys tend to be feeling each other out. No one. Oh, there we go. Although right there, as I say it, here comes Jasper.
I think it looked better than the effect that it had. I think he hit him in the side. It was like an arm blow to the side of the head.
Yeah, it was an overhand shot, but I think it also kind of turned him a little bit. But I think it got his attention too because he smiled.
Good defensive skills by Bunce. Got his hands up right away when he saw that McCargo was coming in.
It looks like Jasper has a left hook there waiting for him if he steps in with his jab and moves over. Let's see if he sets that up.
Bunce just seems tricky. He comes in, lays back, once in a while punches a couple of times. I think he also wants to counter punch. Kind of wild swings that didn't do much. That's another pace from some of the other fights that we've seen, that a much faster pace. Well, this is good for the weight division.
This is Jocelyn.
And I'm Carolina from Hooters of Dublin, and you're watching World Class Boxing.
They taking more time over at McCargo's, taking full advantage of a minute plus. So here comes then Bunce coming in with a not too powerful but fast attack. And just McCargo looks bigger physically. Broader shoulders, longer arms, a little bit taller.
Well, he is a personal trainer at Crunch, I believe in San Lorenzo. So he knows a little something about building a good physique.
I'd say both these guys do.
Oh, definitely.
Of all the fights these two might have in terms of on that scale.
I don't like the way Bunce is coming in with his jab. He's almost tomahawking in with it, and I really don't like it because he's dropping his hand and leaning in with it.
You know, yes, physically, I think he's fast. I don't know how hard he can hit, but it just looks like he needs to be a little bit more trained. Takes a good left hand there by McCargo. I think if he went back to the basics and just concentrated on that, he'd be a much better fighter.
Yeah, but the problem is, like what you just said, the basics. A lot of fighters don't have the basics, and they learn stuff that is unconventional because that's what they learned, and that might be the case with him.
Yep, lost the mouth. Yeah, lost the mouthpiece.
Yeah, that was Bunce's mouthpiece. Back to the basics here. Few seconds to rest. And back to the action.
Yeah, Bunce is really over his front foot with some of his punches. And if Jasper sets a trap, he's going to land something very hard on him with the way he commits.
Yeah, it takes us to back when we were talking about the basics. Physically, the guy looks strong. He looks fast. He has good movement, good defensive skills, a few defensive skills. But see, on punches like that,
and he ends up off balance a lot, and I think Jasper can really capitalize on that.
Well, his nose is over his toes a lot, and you never want your nose over your toes when you're in a boxing stance, and he just threw his right hand and dropped it.
You know what's worse? Having your nose under the thumbs, under your toes.
Or on the canvas.
Yeah, the canvas. Your nose would probably be
He's got him in a headlock.
Well, another thing I'm seeing Bunce do is when he's trying to block a punch, he's dropping his hand all the way to his waist. So the reason why that's a bad habit is if Jasper throws a feint, he can actually get his hand really out of position to land something hard.
There you go. It's a good left hand by, it was like a hook almost. Just a wild swing that lands into Bunce's face. But I think McCargo must have felt that he can also connect, or he has some power, because he's still keeping his distance and doesn't want to just commit himself or overcommit himself and leave himself open.
It looks like his reach is a lot. I don't know what each of their reach measures at, but it seems like he's got a lot longer reach, McCargo.
Good action at the end of the round.
And that's the one thing about McCargo. He's a very technical fighter. I mean, you could see it. He's keeping him at a distance. He's not off balance. Very fundamental.
So this is round 3 of a schedule 4 at the lightweight division. At ringside, Fernando Paramo, Tim Sebrante, and Luke Cattell. All having fun here with nice little fights.
Light heavyweight.
When I said little, I'm talking about just 4-rounders. They're good little fights. Guys that are pretty much at the beginning of their career that can become stars. like McCargo that has a lot of hopes for him in the future.
Yeah, this is a really important fight for him as he continues to try to elevate and live up to those high expectations.
Well, and this is a title eliminator, so he has the chance to get a regional title shot very early in his career, like some of his stablemates, if he looks good and wins in this fight. And that's a big opportunity to a lot of guys fighting locally.
And I think that this tournament that they have at SquareVision is doing that. It's bringing prominence to the fighters. It's bringing the fans' attention. It is bringing fans into the arena, which is bottom line what good boxing shows can do and should be able to do.
Bunce is throwing really wide when he gets in. He's throwing really wide hooks with lots of openings now.
He does have some technique.
Well, and I think McCargo uses that jab to keep him at bay too. So that way, you know, when Bunce comes in with some of those hooks and comes in wide because Jasper's keeping him out.
And I think now that Zachary just feels, I don't know if he feels, I can't think for him, but it just seems that he does also don't want to, like I said, don't overextend himself, leave himself way open. Even some of the movements, he just goes in halfway in, throws a punch, goes back right away.
McCargo's a hard-hitting counter puncher, and you run into this in these type of fights where a guy has knockout power, but he's gonna wait for you to engage. That's the kind of openings where he might get a knockout. But McCargo's gonna have these lulls in action if his opponent doesn't throw.
He did land again. He's overworking. I don't know if it's overwhelming or overpowering the opponent, just overworking him, connecting better and more frequent punches. And you can even say that it's an easy night because there's always a possibility of getting shots like this of what Zachary Bunce is doing. But he just seems to be able to control the action, protect himself, and pretty much little by little take the victory.
McCargo's throwing a nice little up jab with the way he's putting his hand. It's kind of what Larry Holmes used to do, and it's a very subtle movement.
Yeah, just keeping him at bay.
Good right hand, and the end of the round.
You're watching World Class Boxing.
A little bit of repair duty on his trunks. I'm talking about Zachary Bunce. One of the commissioners went over and tied his pants.
Yeah, I think that's that counter puncher mentality. If you got power and you're a counter puncher, you want to wait for the guy to come to knock him out.
The one punch that Bunce has been able to connect is a right to the body, but that's about it. You're not going to knock anybody out with that punch. That's
what you need to do in the first round, but in the fourth round, got to do a little bit more now if you're Bunce.
Well, I think in Bunce's mind, he thinks the first round was probably a pick-em, lost the last two, and now he's probably trying to get a little edge in this last round, maybe try to squeak out a draw.
And here he comes, now landing, Hortaliza attempting the 1-2 punch. But I think now he's staying in dangerously close. I think now he's way within Jasper uppercut and or in just straight right range. Too close for McCargo to work. I don't know why. Was that an elbow?
When they get in close, Jasper tries to really load up on shots, and he actually leaves himself openings to be hit, I've noticed. So it's not beneficial for them to fight in close.
Good uppercut. And
yeah. A couple good body shots there by Jasper.
And I like these kind of fights where really don't, there's not really savagery, but this art, I think McCargo is outworking Bunce. And it just, but I think, Bunce is just limited by his technique.
Yeah,
or lack thereof.
McCargo's imposing his will, even though some might not understand that. He's forcing Bunce to have to work really hard and at times not even throw based off of what's coming back.
Yeah.
That was an odd punch. It was like what he said, a hacket or an uppercut or jab. I don't know what he intended to do. He did hit McCargo though in the face.
Looks like McCargo got hit with a low blow. He kind of motioned to his pants.
Is there a little blood on McCargo's face or his nose?
Bunce seems pretty
Good
tired now.
Good right hand by McCargo. And now Bunce is pushing the action. Neutralized right away. Wild punching.
But this is how Bunce can win the fight. This is his only path to victory, is just making it ugly and pushing the pace.
I don't know if he has enough time though, or enough power to really. Oh, there it goes.
He should have hit that time.
I guess he did have enough power.
He felt that one.
Yep. Nice right hand.
He's swinging for it now.
End of the fight. At least that was one little reminder that he was in a fight. I don't think there's a difference, or I mean, any doubt who won that fight. But I think that last punch was a reminder. Let's not ever be careless.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 exciting rounds of action, we now go to the scorecards. Judge Marshall Walker has it 38-48. Judge Herman Bayless has it 40-36. And Judge Susan Thomas Gifford has it 39-37. For your winner, by majority decision, Jasper McCargo.
They went all over in this.
Yeah.
Zachary Bunce complained. I don't think he had a reason to complain.
I'm from the Bay. I'm from the Bay.